Okay, YouTube bus nuts. Here's the bus with the tanks. You can see that the tanks are on a gray plywood cradle that has a little tiny piece here, right there, that brings it to the bottom of the bay rib there, and then I will be bolting through here, through the floor of the bus, and that's going to hold these tanks in place. And coming down from the top, we have the black water and whatnot. So working on the thing here, I realized that these tanks are not going to move side to side. They are going to be clamped down pretty tightly, but we may have some bowing out. And I wanted to beef these up, so I was going to run a piece of steel straight up and secure it to the bus. But I couldn't find a place that I wanted to secure it to the bus, so I thought, well, okay, we'll just run up, we'll turn 90 and we'll run over to the back wall. But when you get to the back wall here, you've got these airlines to play around with. And that wall, I'm not too sure how strong that is. Let's go under the back there and take a look. Okay, we are laying under the bus right by the tire, and we're looking straight up as if our feet is towards the front, head towards the rear. And this is a wheel well. And as we pan over and I start looking, where can we push against? This is pretty flimsy material to be pushing on. It's enough to mount these brake contraptions, but not much for structural. But up here is a solid frame member. And if we could push on that, that would do it. Let's go inside and see if we can find where that is. Okay, back in the bus now. And here are the bolt heads for those brake thingamajiggers. And as we go up, it's very hard to see. Probably won't come out on this, but if you check your own bus, perhaps it will. You can see a faint outline right here, and then curves and goes up. And that outline is the leading edge of that heavy frame member. And we can verify that by tapping on the thin side and listening to it. Hollow. Go up to the, oh, maybe you can see the outline. Let's bang on that once. Oh, much better. So the question is going to be, how do we push on that going up along the top without hitting those lines? Okay, now let's take a look at the solution. Tanks are installed, and look at this yellow customized framing system. And you can see in the back just how we happen to get around those lines there. So any pressure from the tanks pushing to the rear is transferred along this bar and flat into the back, and nary does it hit the airlines because it's bolted down to this little flange here. Oops, sorry. Bolted down to that flange. Let's take a closer look. That water heater is all electric, and that's where it's going to live once we strap it in. You'll notice that there are 4 of these stanchions that have been fabricated. They go through the floor with 1 grade 8 1/4-inch bolt on each. So there's 4 grade 8 1/4-inch bolts holding this cradle down. The other side is just a wood screw to keep it aligned. And then as you go up, you'll notice these little brackets here. That's going to be for a 4-inch pipe, PVC pipe that holds the wastewater dump tube. And as you look to the rear, you might notice that they go up. In fact, if you follow the top of this gray plywood piece along, you'll see they go up, 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 up. That's because I want it to, on the driver's side where we're going to sit, I want the top of that tube to be up and hidden but still accessible, and down here I want it very easily accessible. And it sits down here because you'll notice I stuck on the back here some little brackets and some brackets there, and on the matching piece vertical there as well, and that is for this ball bearing drawer slide. Sorry, it's going to be at an angle, a down angle like this, with the end sticking out the end of the bus. And what that's going to be is there's going to be a laundry faucet and shower head on the end of this thing, so when the bus is in motion they use a bungee or some other means of attaching it in here where it's hidden, and then when you get to where you're going and you need to wash stuff, you want to do the bungee, and the flex lines allow that system to come out and give you hot cold water in a shower if you want. I'm even thinking of putting on a little 2-foot extension that goes up in the air and gives you an honest to goodness overhead shower outdoors. So we shall see. But anyway, this is the mount system for that, and then also the mana block. You'll notice that there are brackets here. And these brackets are just going to hold a piece of plywood, and we're going to stick something on there. I'm not sure what. That's mainly for storage. But right here, there's going to be a piece of plywood, gray plywood, sort of matching this plywood there. And the purpose of that is going to be to hold my wife's pride and joy, her most proud purchase of the bus so far, the mana block. It's going to sit here, right about like yay, behind the extendable shower head. At least these are the grand plans. We'll come back and let you know how it all turns out. Let's go look at the other side. Here we are looking at it from the opposing view. You'll see that this is still accessible up here for the end of that 4-inch pipe, yet it's pretty much hidden when you're just walking around outside the bus. And on the curb side of the MCI5, there are no airlines back here, so that was a very easy 90-degree install, also bolted to that flange. You might wonder where the top of the forward ones go. They go to this hanger piece here, and they don't conflict with the tensioning cable, and it's looked to me to be about the strongest point to fasten a forward area, and really all it has to do is keep the tanks from wiggling around too much, so not a lot of tension or pressure or movement or moment on that to speak of. Okay, so what we did was we installed the 4-inch tubing down here, and that's going to be it's 80 inches long, so it's long enough for perhaps 2 maybe flexible waist hoses, or 1 and a hard extension. And I like these caps better than the one I had been using, which is a screw-on cap. These seem to be fitting a little better and easier to deal with. And so as you see it look in there, you see that it's pretty well lined up all the way down. And then we were just, since you're here, we were just cutting out this piece of wood here. This is the location where we're going to mount the, what do you call this thing?
Manifold.
Mana block. Yes. So that's going to get painted gray, and let's see if we can finagle it into position here so you can see where it goes. Little bit of precision customization. There we go. There it is. That's going to get painted gray to match the rest of the tank cradle, and then the mana block will get mounted right there. And we have access hole cut here for the mounting brackets for the slide out drawer with the water laundry faucet and shower on it. Hello, who's back there?